What's up? What's up? What's up? Ah, once again, it's on. It's your boy Carcino, man. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Now, first off, thank you guys, man, for putting up with a whole lot for this past week and a half. It's been crazy. It's been a whirlwind of busyness going on with all the basketball and news and all these other things we're doing, man. It's crazy right now. So I want to say thank you and always coming here to support. And those who haven't or you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Now, the like button is free, it's your choice. And let's get into it. Now, I think it was 2015, Rick Ross came out with some like remixes, like classic song remixes and stuff. And he took the In the Club beat and decided to put these remixes out for money. Not only did this piss off 50 Cent, it led to the fact that 50 Cent was going to file a lawsuit for copyright infringement. Because not only did he take the music, he never credited 50 Cent for the record, and he never put his name anywhere on the mixtape or whatever, his remix album, whatever. Now he didn't just do 50 Cent song. He did a whole lot of other artists' songs. But In the Club just happened to be one of the records on there. And it's like opening up Pandora's box. Once you do that and you go down this avenue, this is gonna possibly open a door for future copyright lawsuits towards titles of music. But since there was already a problem that ensued between Rick Ross and 50 Cent based on a tape that 50 Cent himself never released and he was financially liable for, which put him in a big peril of a lawsuit with the baby mother and Rick Ross, and put a lot of his businesses on hold. It was a major, major problem for 50. Now, with that in tow, you best believe he was going to sue Rick Ross. And you best believe those two are never going to patch things up, as some may say. Patch it up. So, when the lawsuit was first introduced in a smaller court, it was kicked out. So 50 Cent appealed because this is how 50 is. He's very progressive. And it was upheld again in favor of Rick Ross. Now, a lot of people's like, how is Rick Ross winning these lawsuits? Well, it's kind of simple and kind of not simple at the same time. Rick Ross is winning these lawsuits based on, like, I could never tell you how he was able to keep the name Rick Ross. when he was completely copying Freeway Rick Ross, which is actually his name. And you're copying his lifestyle, everything, and was able to win that lawsuit. But in this lawsuit, there was no way 50 could win it. So for him to appeal it after reading the actual verbiage of the lawsuit, I don't know why or how 50 thought he was going to win after the smaller courts read the verdict and gave the reasoning. The major courts was going to do the same thing if there was nothing else in the findings that would basically change the outcome from the smaller courts. And there was nothing really new that was not from the courts before. And the thing is, 50 was suing for what they would call unauthorized sampling. So when you go through this infringement lawsuit, 50 sued him for $2 million. And the court papers, which now you can find, you will find out that 50 does not own, G Unit Records does not own in the club. Shady Records and Aftermath Records, his then label, owns all the copyright interests in the song. So 50, who gave Shady Aftermath what they call perpetual and exclusive rights during the term of the recording agreement. That means a non-exclusive right to his name and likeness, for the purpose of trade or advertisement purposes in connection with marketing the records and videos. You know, this is a very, serious thing to look at when you're doing record contracts. That means that the record company Shady Aftermath, they they determine, if there's a copyright lawsuit or anything else, it would come to them because they own it. When he signed his recording deal, this was a part of it. He signed away his rights to the song and the rights of what they call publicity to his labels in the recording agreement. So he can't sue for the sampling of the song. This was determined back in 2018. Because in 2018, the smaller courts did it. So now the U.S. appeal courts just did the exact same thing. Ross did not seek any approval to use the song on the mixtape, and he did fail to include 50's name. But since 50 signed away his rights and performance and likeness associated with the masters of in the club in connection with all the record deal that he did with Shady Aftermath, Rick Ross is probably liable if Shady Aftermath wanted to file a lawsuit. They could, but 50 Cent could not. So Rick Ross talking about he a clear record for 50 Cent, Black Mafia Family series and all this stuff. And talking crazy about some Wingstop. Anyway, I don't want to go into Rick Ross's delusional. That dude probably just made his last album. He's about 6 records in. Should have quit 6, 7 records ago. But you got a couple of fools still buying Rick Ross. Got the lemon pepper wings in the back. Whoop! Oh man. Anyway, anyway, moving forward. Let's talk about it. You feel me? Mm-mm-mm. So that lets you know right there. When you sign these deals, 50 had to do what he had to do. That's just really the gist of it. He had to do what was best for 50 Cent. So when you're doing what's best for you at that time, you know, he was not getting a lot of money off the records, like I was telling you before. Even though he was selling 10 million records, and his money came from shows, doing shows and performances. That's where a lot of artists' money comes from. So when you do tours, you do shows, this is where your money kicks in. Now, when I told you he made more money off the G Unit records than he did off the 50 Cent records, now you know what I'm talking about. You get more revenue for his use. So I'm gonna get out of here, and we'll definitely chop it up again. Don't forget, you want to support the page. My Cash App is Carceno, Karceno. And I want to also thank all the other people who came in and showed love to the page. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And this is incredible to see. So if you're aspiring to be an artist, and this is something you want to do for the rest of your life, by all means, you got to know your contracts, bro. Got to read your contracts. You got to be on top of everything. Stay independent as long as you can. Partner with the labels, with the majors. Let them know you're interested in a partnership, but you have to put yourself in that position to be valuable, to be a partner. Meaning that you have to have interests of the public. You have to blow yourself up. You have to. Because they're not going to donate any money to you or your cause. There's no such thing as artist development money anymore. Now, how much you willing to bet that Kanye West probably don't own most of his hit songs? That if somebody was to use his music and make a remix, that he probably couldn't sue and get anything from it. That would fall on Def Jam and Rockefeller Records, which now Rockefeller's defunct. So now that would fall on Def Jam Recordings. Hmm? So like I said, I didn't know why 50 took this back to court for an appeal when it was clear the first time around that he did not own that. Now, if he had talked Shady Records and Aftermath to pursue the lawsuit, and they was in a conjunction with 50 Cent, then it would have had teeth. Then they could have won the lawsuit. But him by himself, I guess he found out throughout this proceeding that he really did not own in the club. So it's just a life lesson to be learned. And that's that. On the Patreon, Doja Cat, man, she's tripping, ain't she? She talking about she finna come out with an album called NAS, well, a song rather. And you believe that? I tell you, boy, these people get a little bit of publicity, man. They run with it.
You know? It's your first time in that long. I can make you see that apple juice isn't whiskey. It's time for a parody.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't deal. But yeah, we talked about that on the Patreon. Another person whose mind is confused and gone, blinded by popularity and fame and all of these different things. So 100% got to keep things current, keep things moving. And yeah, on that note, I'm out.
I think it's funny that my song is called Nas. What is it called when you use my phone's about to die. I love you and bye before I get cut off, but um my song that you guys are waiting for is called Nas. If you hyphenate it, what's the word? If you hyphenate, not hyphenate. Is it hyphenate? Acronymity it? Acronymize? Acronymize? If you acronym it, that doesn't feel right. Abbreviate? The song that I have coming out is called Nas. But only if you abbreviate it. It's 3 words. Abbreviate. Which is funny. It's kinda nice. Because that was before the fact. You know? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you don't.